10 years learning French in school, but for the first 8, I couldn't even form a basic sentence by myself. Then, just in 2 years, I went from barely speaking and forming sentences, knowing just a few grammar structures, to absolutely mastering it. Well, almost mastering it. To passing a C1 DELF exam. If you've been learning a language for several years, yet without any progress and you feel stuck, I know exactly how you feel. But here is the good news. Once I started using the right techniques and strategies and right tools, everything fell into place. And it's not about me. You can do it too. Here's exactly what I done to go from bare minimum to a C1 in just 2 years. The biggest mistake I made for 8 years, I treated French like it was a school subject, not a real language. You know this feeling when overall the subject feels interesting, just not when you're learning it in school. Like you would learn biology on your own because it's fascinating field of science, like how animals, plants, and all of the world works overall, like nature works, all of this. But when you learn it in school, it feels like, meh, not really great, right? The same both with French for me. I love the language, but I just couldn't stand just the fact that I was learning it in school. I just couldn't digest it. I want to learn too fast everything. I wanted to learn French grammar, like every single topic of French grammar in just 2 weeks. I failed, and I decided that, well, French is just not for me, I guess. I memorized grammar rules, I did exercises that my school provided. I listened to this CD disc, listening exercises, these dialogues from textbooks, but I didn't actually use real French. I started fully immersing myself in podcasts, YouTube videos, and French music, reading books, and I finally got the taste of real French. How does the language really sound? And honestly, at first, I understood nothing, even though I've been learning this for 8 years and I should have memorized something. But I just couldn't. I just heard this one, and it was like this for me. Like, I just couldn't comprehend. I understood that it was like French because of this, but nothing else. It was complete disaster. I was so ashamed of myself. But instead of fully stressing out, I kept listening and I did make some progress. Your brain needs time to adjust, so don't pause every second and let your brain sink it. I know, speaking from day one is important and one of the most crucial things you can ever make in language learning. But as you may have already understood, I did speak in French, but in school, and I didn't speak by myself. Like, imagine this. We had to write an essay and then memorize the entire essay and present it to a class. Like, I don't think that is a real speaking practice, you know? You don't actually think, but you just have to memorize how the words sound and you don't actually understand what it means. So, it's not a great memorization strategy. Instead, I wanted to use the language, thinking and actually processing the information in another language. To do that, I needed to focus on something else rather than speaking first. I focused on reading and listening, and I mean really focused. If I learned French from bare minimum to C1 in 2 years, you might have imagined how many hours I actually spent listening to French every single day. Spoiler, it wasn't just 2 hours, it was way more hours a day of just French. I read tons of books, but not classics because, yes, guess what? I also read classics in my school in French, and I felt depressed when I read them, so I didn't read classics in French, even though I found it fascinating. I picked books just above my current level, just to challenge myself, but not too high, not to overwhelm myself, and not too low to feel too easy for myself. with the majority of words that I already know, and a bit more words that are still challenging for me. And when I stumbled upon some words or phrases that I didn't know, I didn't just write them down. I wrote them down in my flashcard set, and not just words, but actual real sentences. Like, I would write a word on my flashcards, and below this word, I would write a phrase or a sentence using this new word, just to learn it in context. Once I had enough input, I finally started speaking, but not in classroom. I recorded myself every single day. I just talked about my feeling, about my emotions, like a digital journal, if you will, in French, like an upper level, honestly. I talked to myself in the mirror, like, yes, even like this. I had monologues with myself. I talk to myself even when I didn't film myself. I imagine that I am filming some sort of vlog in French. Just I wake up and I talk to French to myself. Yes, to some people, to my family members, it was strange, but for me, it was highly effective. My first attempts were terrible, but after a few months, I have noticed that my brain automatically starts to think in French and start forming new sentences that I didn't actually learn by heart. And no, when I had French lessons in school, I didn't just sit. I used these new words that I learned with flashcards in lessons just to reinforce my memory and reinforce these words or phrases. I tried literally everything. Duolingo, watching solely YouTube videos without anything, to using textbooks and exercise books, but nothing worked for me until I actually created a study plan for myself. So here is one of them. Here is what I actually did to get to the C1 level. Daily, 30 minutes of listening, podcasts, audiobooks, even some YouTube videos on the background, you name it. 3 times per week, speaking practice, voice notes, real conversations, conversation in the mirror with myself. 4 times per week, reading plus vocabulary, graded readers, news articles, something like this. 1 times per week, grammar checkup, just to fix my mistakes and learn some grammar that I didn't learn before. Some details in grammar that are not worth to really ponder about and just stumbling upon them, but something that would garnish my language a bit. If you're serious about reaching fluency, you need a system, not just random studying. If you've been learning French for several years and still feel stuck, you're definitely not alone. I wasted 8 years of my life trying to learn this language that honestly would take 2 to 3 years to actually learn in a much better way. Once I did understand what I did wrong and how to improve, I reached C1 level much faster and much more easier than I thought. So if you're serious about language learning, start using the language right now in your daily life. Not treat it like a school subject, but actually like a real language. And if you're still confused and want a 30-day detailed plan to reach fluency in French, I created a free PDF downloadable guide that you can get in the description down below with 30-day step-by-step guide for you. And if you want to fully master French, if you're serious about French, you can get a premium PDF guide that for a little small fee that will support this channel and upgrade this channel, you can get a full guide to master French for a small fee to support me and this channel. So if you're interested, you can get all 2 or 1 PDF downloadable guides in the description down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel, leave your opinions in the comments down below, give me your thumbs up and share this video with your friends or family members who can also benefit. I really do hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I really do want to see you in my next videos next time. Goodbye. You're still here. So maybe you're looking for something new, something fresh. If so, you can check out this video or that video, choose whatever you like. They're specifically tailor-made for you. I put everything in this video, so you're better off checking them out right now. So I'll see you here or here.